This is a very, very serious video, and I'm going to be very, very blunt. YouTube is screwed, and a ton of YouTubers are going to be really screwed. And I'm talking possibly bankrupt screwed. And you may very well see a lot of YouTubers just quitting YouTube altogether, whether they're forced to or because it's so frustrating to even make videos on YouTube that it's just people are going to just find another, job, or they're going to do something else with their life. That's how serious this is. This is the hugest change that YouTube has ever made, or it's the hugest change that has been on YouTube, and demonetization is nothing compared to this. And I'm going to explain everything, and I know it's going to seem boring, but it's extremely vital and important that you, even if you're just a person that enjoys watching YouTube videos on this, whether you're a YouTuber, content creator, whatever, or a person that really just loves YouTube, this is something you're definitely going to want to pay attention to. And I'm going to really ask you guys to tweet this to any person that plays games, okay? Like, to call out some YouTubers, Lawrence, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, Jay from the Cub Scouts, Boom, Rasposky, Cinnamon Toast Kin, like Dan TDM, especially Dan TDM, not especially, but that's really important. Tweet this to all of those people that you like to play games, that make Roblox videos, Flamingo. This affects them immensely, or potentially it will be. Now, I know that I'm being very dramatic, or it might seem that I'm being dramatic, but this is a huge freaking deal that I'm going to get into. But it's extremely important for me to reiterate how important this actually is, because it affects me. It's going to affect every YouTuber, really. That's why you should care about it. So I'm going to keep this as brief as I possibly can. YouTube was sued by the FTC because they broke a law called COPPA. You probably heard that term floating around now. It's a big deal. So the FCC, and I don't know everything, but the FCC established COPPA to protect children. Apparently, it is illegal to collect children's information. Well, YouTube has been doing this for a while, for a long time. They've been targeting children specifically, knowing like actual children under 13. They've been targeting ads to be directed towards those children, which is actually really illegal. You can't do that without a child's parents' consent. Now, of course, why would any creator know about this? No one I don't even know what COPPA was until this whole thing started happening. And why would we know this? Like, no one teaches us this. But if you're a big corporation, this is the kind of stuff that you need to know. So YouTube, there's no other way to put it. They broke it. And then they got fined by the FCC for $170 million. And the agreement they came up with is now creators are going to have to mark their videos as kid-friendly content, or made for kids, specifically made for kids or not made for kids. Now, this creates a huge problem, an insane problem. And I'll explain why. The guidelines that they have set for videos that are made for kids are extremely vague, except for a few points. Because like, when a normal, rational person thinks of like what is kids content, the first thing that's going to come to your mind, I guarantee you, it's going to be ABCs, those hand videos. Basically, if you have like a little nephew like I do, the kind of stuff that they watch where like you can hear the ABCs, the shark doo-doo songs. There's very clear content out there that is targeted for kids. But what happens when it comes to things that, like stuff like I make, for instance, like gaming videos, Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, animations? That's where it gets very, very confusing. And this is what's going to affect so many YouTubers, because even though they're not kids content, the FTC might think that they're kids content. And here's the big issue. If you don't mark your video as directed towards kids, and the FTC thinks that it's directed towards kids, you could be fined up to $42,000. This is why this is such a huge deal. And this is per video. You're talking about people that have thousands of videos. Like myself, I think I have about over 2,000 videos on my channel. Now, I do not consider myself a kids content or a kids creator, or my content is not meant for kids. I have played my fair share of family-friendly things, but never have I changed my language to be like, let's sing the ABCs today, or try to change my language in a way that is only specifically for kids. Now, you've seen a lot of YouTubers stop cursing because of demonetization and things like that. But Even if you do not consider yourself a kids directed content creator or a kids directed channel, doesn't mean you're not going to be affected by this. This is what is so scary. So about a week ago, every single YouTuber was greeted with this thing right here. And basically, here is where you get to pick that my channel, my entire channel is made for kids. I upload content that's made for kids. No, Seth, this channel is not made for kids. I never upload content that's made for kids. Or you can pick individually for each video. Now, every time you upload a video, it's very similar to this. You just got to say whether it's kid directed or not kids directed. Now, what is kids directed? There's actually an option for that. What's content made for kids? They talk about COPPA, obviously the reason why this is happening, and here's where things get extremely confusing. When deciding whether or not your channel is made for kids, you should consider various factors, including subject matter of the video. Educational content made for preschoolers. That's extremely obvious. Just like I said, that's extremely obvious. I think people know the difference between that and something like a gameplay video of Roblox or Minecraft or something like that. Whether the video includes child actors or models, okay, so kids being in the video. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animated characters or cartoon figures. What does that mean? What about Pokemon? That's considered for kids, but so many adults love Pokemon. Animation videos that are not directed towards kids, like, you know, aka like Family Guy, you know, it's a cartoon, it's animated, but it's for adults. What about that kind of content? You know, like, who's deciding whether something is for kids and not for kids? This is what is so scary because it's so vague. There's no clear, like, how am I as a creator supposed to say with 100% certainty that something is for kids and something's not for kids? It's just, it doesn't work that way. And this is what the FTC needs to know. Okay, I'm gonna talk a lot more about this, but what can you do about this to stop this from happening? The FTC actually opened up for comments. I believe it was a creator. I don't know all the details, but they made it to basically where we can leave a comment on the FTC's website and tell them why this is a horrible idea. And this is what you need to do. And this is why I want every creator that could potentially be affected by this to also make a video saying this, because this is real stuff. This is not something you could ignore. PewDiePie, it blows my mind they haven't made a video on this already. PewDiePie needs to be making a video on this. All the big YouTubers, every YouTuber that makes content, wants to be a YouTuber, anything like that, you need to be making a video on this because this is real. This is real, okay? And if you think that I'm overreacting, here's exactly what the FCC thinks of YouTubers. They literally call this fish in a barrel. It's, you know the saying, shooting fish in a barrel? It's really easy.
We also think that YouTube has strong incentives to police its platform, both to avoid future enforcement actions by the FTC, but also because it's offering this platform to content creators. And if the FTC is bringing independent piecemeal actions against content creators for violating COPPA, that may discourage content creators from posting content on YouTube. So the analogy that I think of, imperfect, is the expression about shooting fish in a barrel. And YouTube is the barrel, and the content creators are the fish. And so it's a place where this content is centralized, and essentially it's easy for us to find.
We're not just fish in a barrel. We're actual people with actual careers. That doesn't sound like a person that's understanding. That doesn't sound like rules that are exactly fair. Judging by that language and the way that they speak, the only thing that we can deduce is they're gonna target us. They're gonna target YouTubers, and they're gonna make examples out of people and fine people a ton of money. And do they care that people are gonna be on the streets? Do they
Where's the jungle?
When the game is broken,
We're in the wrong bodies!
I think my eyes are a different color.
All of you is a different color.
there's only one question.
How do we beat the game if the game has gone haywire?
Jumanji: The Next Level. Rated PG-13.
Streets, do they care that people are going to just lose years upon years of work? No. Why? Because they haven't watched the lick of YouTube in their life. You're basically getting these older people, all right, this is essentially what it is, to stick their hand in things that they don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. And the thing is that there's solutions. There's actual solutions that would not screw everyone over. And that's why you need to go to that website and tweet them. And there's a ton of more things you could do. Every board member of the FCC has a Twitter. You can contact them if you want. I'm not saying leave hate comments. It's not about leaving hate comments. This is the time where everyone's got to be professional and just legitimately say why this is a bad thing for YouTubers and what can we do to fix it. There's got to be another solution. And that's what me and a ton of other YouTubers are trying to do right now. I know Chad Tronic, you know, he's been really affected by this, and he made a really great video on it, as well as other YouTubers. There's another Roblox YouTuber, I can't think of his name right now because I don't know them, but they're meeting with the FCC. So there's people, you know, doing things, but we need to do everything we can to make sure that this doesn't happen, because literally it could mean, like, you know, it could mean the end for a lot of YouTubers and you know, for YouTube itself, because like with all these changes, you know, it is.
Fam, that's what they call me. I promise that you'll never be lonely. Be the fam, that's what they call me.